Welcome, everybody. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Coming at you live from New York City. This is Spirit Matters, your podcast with Dial and Acyuta. Kishore's not here. This is Spirit Matters, and we're so happy to be back with you. We've been on a hiatus for a couple weeks now. We have our live studio audience with us that we've missed so much, and we've missed all of you tuning in with us. We have missed you. Trust us. We've been gone because Achyuta's been in India, Kishore's been in India, some of our live audience has been in India. There's Passia and Lane. So we've been on a break for a little while, and Achyuta's here with us. Kishore's not able to join us. He's back online tomorrow. And in our pregame warm up, Acyuta was looking at the Gita verses, like where are we picking up in the Gita? And I was like, wait a second. Should we talk about the fact that we've been gone for weeks and you've been in India and just got back and there's a lot that happened and maybe we should just catch up on all of that?
In exactly that tone.
That's my welcome back to Spirit Matters tone. I've been lonely without you, sitting in the room talking to myself. It's gotten to me. You don't know how the loneliness has gotten to me.
He doesn't have like a Wilson soccer ball. He's got like a jackfruit.
I got a jackfruit. I don't have a lot of friends. It's just me and this podcast mic and an empty Zoom room. How are you, Acyuta? How are you?
I'm good. I feel like I'm still trying to get like acclimated. Everybody always asks me if I have like culture shock when I go to India, and my response is always I have culture shock when I'm not in India. I always have like a moment of culture shock when I'm not in India. So it
The
takes
culture shock is always coming back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, totally. Culture shock is always coming back. Like I'd walked out of my house the other morning, and a squirrel kind of like ran across my path, and I like stopped dead in my tracks, and I was like, "That's not a monkey. Never mind." I was like, I don't have to watch out for those here.
Yeah. Hide your stuff.
I know. And like for a second, I was like, "Oh wait a second, what am I?" Oh wait, that's a squirrel, not a monkey. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Why is that monkey so small?
I was like, "What's happening?"
Yeah. When did you get back?
I got back Thursday morning, and then
Thursday morning, and then you came for kirtan that evening?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. And are you feeling settled, grounded back in?
Um, I feel like my body force quits now at like 9 p.m. It shuts down
Yeah.
all applications. It's like
Yeah.
you've done way too much. I don't know what you thought you were doing, but we're gonna force quit every app. We're gonna restart the whole thing, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
And actually, that's not necessarily such a bad thing. I think sometimes, just go with it. Your body cuts off at 9, go to sleep at 9.
That's a really good thing, actually.
It is.
Like, we're supposed to be asleep at that time. I find generally one of the hardest questions to answer is, how was your trip to India? Because it's like,
Oh my God.
I just had a whole experience. I'm still processing. And like, how was it? It was good.
Yeah. No, the trip to India was, I think, enlightening, um,
Mm,
emboldening, magical again. In some ways it was really like I even said at the beginning of the retreat, I said, India's gonna test you. And I think it did test
yeah.
every single person on
Mm.
that retreat, whether they remembered us saying that or not. Everybody
Yeah.
got
They
tested.
don't, Pasha and Lane don't remember everything. It was like it was like it was like Hangover. They woke up one morning, they got back, they're like, what happened in India?
No, I mean, I'm sure.
Pasha
I'm
woke up with a
sure they
tattoo.
remember.
Pasha woke up with a tattoo on her face. Lane woke up with a hair color that she did not do herself.
I mean, some people changed haircuts. Some people did get tattoos. Like some people did come back with like, amazing things.
We we have Pasha and Lane here with us that were there. Do you guys want to share?
I know. I feel like you guys are obligated now, as at least voice wise. Pasha saying she almost got a tattoo, but now we need to hear it from the source.
Okay, Pasha. Pasha
Yeah.
was on the
Oh,
trip. I missed the trip, but Pasha was there. What was your experience, Pasha? You got anything you want to share with the world?
sure. Yeah, I almost got a tattoo. Lane saying it's too early. It's too early for her to be verbal. Um, but yeah, it was pretty incredible. I in our closing circle, I just shared that like at the beginning, I was like, this is gonna be a trip of a lifetime. And yeah, by the end of it, I definitely felt like it was. One of the things that shocked me was the monkeys. They are cray. Okay? Like they I saw so many things. I saw people, get their glasses jacked off a tuk-tuk while it was moving. And this is all in, Vrindavan. It was great though. It was amazing. I think one of the best things for me was bathing in the Ganga. That was something I was really afraid to do because the last time I was in a river, I almost drowned. So, and I can swim. So it was just kind of like crazy raging waters. And I got stuck underneath this like branch that was sticking out of the bottom of the river. And I had on a life vest and almost went. I went under and I was kind of like stuck on this stick. So I had a little bit of trauma
That
from
wasn't
that.
at the Ganges. That wasn't this
No,
trip.
that was like no,
Everyone's
that
like,
was the
cancel my trip. I'm not going in January.
I know, like we didn't do this to you.
We didn't. She was like, what was your biggest test in India? Well, I almost drowned in the Ganges. They said, "What? Why? You have to bathe in this sacred river, and I don't know how to swim."
Although I will
And they
say,
pushed me in, and there was a stick, and it was a holy stick, and so they said, if
Oh
you drown,
man.
it's okay. But I
No.
wanted to live, and Kishore kept saying, just let go.
Actually, I mean, if we want to talk about people who almost floated away, it was Kishore and Brudge. But
Yeah.
I'll let Kishore tell that story tomorrow about how they almost floated on down the Ganga.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but that sounds perfect.
It actually was hilarious. I was just like, are they just floating slowly? No one's saying anything. Like, can we rescue them? And then Venkat rescued them. So we want to give.
Meanwhile, Brudge has his camera. He's filming the whole thing above the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I will
Krishna.
say, like, as Pasha was saying, yes, the monkeys are a new species to be like learned and understood when you get to India, all of India really. And me, I usually play it really calm and really cool because what else can you do around unpredictable wild animals that are in your space? And speaking of wild, unpredictable animals that are in your space, we're in Rishikesh, we're in a Jeep. And Kamala, one of my friends, is sitting next to me and she says, Acyuta, there's a monkey behind you. I said, okay. Because she said it very calmly, Acyuta, there's a monkey behind you. I said, okay. And I look, I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do? Like, monkeys look through windows all the time. That's what they do. They're monkeys. Sometimes they sit on the hoods of cars, etc. And she says, Acyuta, there's a monkey behind you. I said, okay. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I don't understand. Am I supposed to be like enchanted by said monkey looking in a window? And then I hear from behind me this sound that sounds like, and I said, oh, no, because the monkey was in the Jeep. The monkey had crawled in the window and was in the back seat of the Jeep with us.
Kicked out the drivers, took over the steering wheel.
Here. So when she says there's a monkey behind you, literally there was a monkey behind me.
She meant a monkey on your back.
Oh no. I was like, oh no. No, I wasn't. No.
I thought there's a monkey behind you. Turn around, there's a monkey driving a Jeep behind you.
Now, see, that, somehow that I was prepared for, monkeys are going to take over, they're going to be running the hotels, etc. Fine.
He's gaining on you.
But I was not expecting this mama monkey to be like literally here. I was like, oh no, no, no. We called the driver, who seemed to be more concerned with getting like dust out of his eye than our current, like, hey, there's something wrong in this Jeep. And then finally our like wonderful, glorious, most amazing tour guide went and got biscuits to lure the monkey out and away from the Jeep. So so now if anybody really wants to know me and trauma, all you have to say is there is so and so behind you. I'm like, don't tell me there's anything behind me anymore. Like, you have to tell me the proximity. Like, don't just say that there are animals behind me, because now I'm on guard, traumatized.
Our next trip is in January, everybody. You can sign up on our website. Our monkeys will be there.
The monkey didn't do
I was
anything.
like, no, I'm not coming.
I mean, luckily she didn't do anything. She was just kind of looking around and kind
Yeah,
of, she
they're just
almost seemed
curious.
confused, like, how did I get in this Jeep? I was like, you crawled in.
Yeah. Pasha said during Govardhan Parikrama, meaning a place that they visited in Vrindavan, they did monkey service to the monkeys, and that totally dispelled all monkey anxiety. That can be very sweet. Yes.
I don't know, man. That can be really.
And Acyuta's like, speak for yourself, sister. That is not my experience.
I don't know, man. They can be really sweet when you feed them, but they can also be really unpredictable. And then they start fighting with each other, and then I'm always like, whoa, I need to remove myself. Because one night we were just standing around, me and my friends, and we were talking, and there's like a gang of maybe 15, 20 monkeys came out of nowhere. Big ones, small ones, mamas, papas, grandpas, whatever. And they all came out of nowhere. And luckily I was with one of my friends who really is not like, he's like, I don't know, I think he has his own army of monkey friends, but he was totally fearless, and he kind of shooed the monkeys away, because what they'll do is they'll understand you have to go through this street to get where you're going, and they'll block off the whole path. Like, you've got to get through us to go to wherever you're going, because they're really smart. Also rascals, and they're funny from afar. they're great from afar.
From afar, that was the one to bring a philosophical point. There's a story I once heard regarding Srila Prabhupada, and some devotees were looking out into the ocean. And they said, Prabhupada, the ocean is so beautiful. And he said, yes, from a distance. The ocean's so beautiful, but like, how many of you would want to just like, let's say you're looking out into the ocean in the night sky or something. How many of you would want to just be dropped in the middle of the ocean? Like, so here, come get closer, and actually it's like, it can be terrifying to just be there out in the deep, and so much of nature, so much of life is beautiful. Material world is beautiful from a distance, but sometimes you get really, really close, and you see that things actually can be more terrifying than what you imagine them to be. So the monkeys are very cute from a distance until they're on your back in your Jeep, going through your back.
I'm saying, I was like, they were not supposed to be in the back seat of this Jeep.
But I will say also, back to Pasha's point, I find that often some of the most profound experiences people have in India is with the river Ganges and going into the river. It's a really sacred place. And was that your first time in Rishikesh, Acyuta?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. Did you go in that place near Vashishta Guha, near the cave in that place? It's a really beautiful spot.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was really, really beautiful. Definitely something I want to do again. I just had such a wonderful time, like waking up in the mornings. I would like read Ramayan overlooking the Ganga, and reading about how Ram and Lakshman would go and meditate near the Ganga, and thinking like, guys, we made it. Like, we are here. We are
Yeah.
at the seat of Vedic ancient history. And in college, I wanted to be a Vedic archaeologist. I like entertained that idea for like a semester. And then
Then I looked at the major list and I didn't find it there next to
well, funny enough,
English literature.
Well, yeah, well, my actual teacher, my archaeology teacher she's like, I really wish you'd be an archaeology major. Like if you could just be. I was like, I don't know. There's something about English that called to me more.
Mm,
But just being able to be at these places which are the seat of history, that's totally, absolutely my whole vibe. So I loved it.
mm, mm. Passion, I'm going back to you. What was the biggest way you felt you were tested in India? Because Acyuta was saying that, this idea of India testing you, and you mentioned this is going to be a trip of a lifetime. What was the biggest way you felt you were tested?
Oh boy. I feel like the
It was a
biggest
boy?
way. No, no, no. Hey man, don't be starting rumors. Um, I think the biggest way I was tested was to honestly, Acyuta, was singing kirtan out loud. I know that sounds really, I don't know, like I love kirtan. I sing all the time when I'm, at home. But I have some anxiety. Like I had a lot of anxiety about sharing my voice out loud. And it was something that I definitely didn't want to do. And the first time I was called on, I chose to not do it. Um, and yeah, it was really hard for me to surrender in that way and to just like share my voice out loud. And yeah, I'm so glad that Kishore and Achuta kind of really told us to do it, because by the end of the trip I was singing and dancing and really not caring about anything besides just expressing my love for Krishna and doing it in a group, and it was pretty incredible to experience that type of surrender because I've never really done that before. So I think I was tested, that was a huge test for me.
Mm.
It
But
wasn't easy.
And
I mean, look at how amazingly you overcame it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I do ask the question, like, but did you die? And sometimes it can feel
she's
like,
like,
yeah,
I almost did in the river, if you remember.
it can feel like I did a little bit, but the way that Krishna brings you back it's always something to be celebrated. And Nachi's here. Nachi!
Hello,
Nachi,
hello. How are you?
Nachi was also on the trip with us. I mean, not us. Like I wasn't there, but
You were there in
you,
spirit.
you you were there in spirit with us, Dale.
How'd you feel about the trip, Nachi?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. The only place I'd been to before was Vrindavan, but all the other places I was visiting for the first time. So yeah, I mean each and every place was beautiful in its own way. But yeah, I think Rishikesh, and I think as you guys were mentioning, the um yeah, just going in the Ganges, I mean that was just surreal. It was just, I think there was, like, for me personally, there was a before and after. Like before I did that, I was very, very tight. I was holding on to a lot of things, very self-conscious. But then after that, I felt a lot more lighter. I kind of felt I just let go, a lot of things I was holding on to. So yeah, I mean the trip was wonderful. I think Achita Gopi and Kishore, I think there's so many beautiful moments, right? I think the kirtans by the Ganges, on the streets of Rishikesh. I mean, there's such a long list of, I could just write like pages on the beautiful experiences we had throughout the trip. So yeah, I'm deeply grateful to all of you.
Be asking you to write pages for Bhakti Center testimonials. Thank you.
Yes, I will.
pages.
Happy to.
Okay. And Pasha, we would love for you to sing a kirtan for us as we
Dang.
finish this episode. You ready?
Oh, you're
And a
playing
one,
me now,
and a
Daya.
two, and a three. I pulled out the word voluntold you. Is that a new word? Voluntold you?
Uh, yeah, I think so. I think it's like when somebody tells you, we're all doing this. So,
Gonna
it was
volunteer,
great though.
voluntold you.
Yeah, it was great.
That's
But
a new
I'm having audio
Z term.
issues, so I don't think I can like sing today, but hit me tomorrow.
Got it. Okay. Whoa,
Well,
she just
you know,
agreed.
this is a daily podcast. Maybe
This is a
maybe don't
daily
say
podcast. Tomorrow is just around the corner. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's we have a few minutes left. Let's, we're going off script here a little bit in terms of the Gita. Maybe if there was Acyuta, if there was a verse from the Gita, anywhere in the Gita, that you wanted to pull out that could speak to something you experienced in India, what would it be? Not the only one, but just one
yeah,
that comes to mind that represents spirit. Maybe we can read that verse, carry it in our heart, and that can take us home today.
sure. I think I'm gonna go with 927.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, 927 is a favorite of my sister's, but it was definitely something that I kind of kept coming back to again and again. So the Sanskrit is Yat Karoshi Yadashnasi Yaj Jahosi Dadasi Yat Tapasyasya Kunteya Tat Kurushva Madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. That for me really spoke to this trip because there were so many days it was just like I've got nothing, and it felt like Krishna was saying that doesn't matter, whatever it is. And there were some days where I would literally say, okay, I haven't slept in this many hours, I haven't eaten in this long, but whatever austerities I'm doing, Krishna, just accept them. Just accept them today. I don't know how holy this day is or if it's a special occasion, but just accept it, Krishna, whatever it is. Whatever I'm trying to do on this trip, however I'm trying to facilitate, however I'm putting my heart in. And I felt like I gave my heart every day, and in that way, this trip was a success for me. Success or failure for everybody else, but for me it was a success because I actually really gave my heart every day.
That's beautiful. I love that. I reminded me in 2020 January, the last time there was before the pandemic in 2020 I was in India, and I led a pilgrimage with Vera, and also before that I was teaching a wisdom training with Kastuba and Raghunath. And it was a 3-week, I'm teaching it again in January, but it's a shorter one. It's like 2 weeks. And the one I was teaching then, it was a 3-week wisdom training, which means like it's just a wisdom training. So there's like yoga and sangha in the morning and the evening. And then during the day, it's just Kastuba's teaching Bhagavad Gita, and I was teaching Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion, about the books of Rupa Goswami. And so, you're just giving them like classes every day on scripture. And I remember it was like after day 10 or 11, halfway through, I was like, I'm done. I've given you everything I got, everything I know. I was like, what am I going to speak on tomorrow? And it was just like, I got a week left, and it was just like that feeling of sometimes you feel like you've given everything you have and you don't know what you have left to offer. And you just show up with whatever you have, or your empty shell or your full heart. And it's like, I'm just making my offering. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It's really me just deciding to show up and then allowing Krishna to use you in any way he sees fit, which is ultimately the message of the Gita that Krishna's sharing to Arjuna. It's not your strength. It's not your intelligence. It's not all I need is your availability, and allow me to use you as an instrument. Make yourself available. I can do anything. I remember it was in last not yesterday, but the week before, Bhakti Center, we had a festival. It was the first day of Kartik. You guys were still in India or just finishing. It was the 9th, October 9th. And Raghunath Swami agreed to come and be the program then. It was the first public event at the Bhakti Center he was having in 3 years. And so a lot of people wanted to come. And I was like, worried, like, there's going to be a lot of people here. How are we going to fit? And Mother Kamagiri was there also from Columbus. and I asked her prayers and her blessings, like, please pray that this program goes okay. Like, I just want to host everybody well and have it a nice experience, because sometimes with too many people, it's so intense. He said, don't worry, Krishna can expand the temple room. He can make everybody fit. He can do anything. He can make the whole universe fit in a little thimble. He can do anything. So don't you worry. He'll make it work. And somehow it worked. And afterwards, she's like, see, I told you Krishna was going to take care of everything. And so it's sort of like Krishna can really take care of everything the way he needs to.
Yeah.
And so we just have to show up. And so this verse being such a beautiful verse of like, whatever you do, whatever you offer, give away. And it's interesting because the previous verse is, if one offers me love and devotion, a leaf, flower, fruit, and water, I'll accept it. But then he's like, anything you got,
Literally anything.
whatever's in your pouch, like, just bring it. Don't hold back, and just everything, even that. Yeah, that too. And what about this? Well, this isn't worth it. Bring it. And so I really, really, really appreciate that. And as a leader, as a facilitator for you, I think it's a beautiful meditation, and I'm grateful for you bringing this up for us.
No, I'm so grateful that you asked. Yeah, it just exactly what Martha is saying is just show up and trust the process every day. It was an experience and kind of like a workshop for everyone involved. So
Yeah.
just as scared as Pasha you might have thought you were, I don't know if I can speak for Kishore, but there were many days where I was just terrified. Like I was just like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm one small human just trying to do my best. And that's what I would wake up with every morning, was a prayer that, okay, Govinda, I'm just going to try and do my best. Now the rest is up to you to make the magic happen.
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you for making the magic happen. The heart emojis from Pasha and Nachi make it seem like you did. We're fresh out of time, and we are looking towards Kimberly for our takeaways. I hope she remembers that she's supposed to give us takeaways.
Thank you so much. I'm just so happy to be back with everyone. And
It's like, I didn't hear anything you said, but I'm just really grateful that you're here. I've also been lonely and talking in weird voices like Dayal.
Yeah. Well, I'm just taking away to just show up the best as I can and offer the best of my abilities, because Krishna's going to take care of it. Just got to bring it. And yeah, it was just really nice hearing all your beautiful moments and your heart-opening experiences in India. So thank you so much for sharing.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Chuta, final word?
Final word, just show up.
Show
Show up every day. Just show up.
Yeah. I need that too. I really appreciate that. For me also, it's pertinent in my role in service that I'm trying to offer at the Bhakti Center, and its multifaceted aspects of, like, in so many ways, I find myself more and more realizing, like, the more and more you try to do something, the more and more you realize how, like, I stop wondering about my qualification and just say, you know what? I'm just showing up. If somebody can do this better, please. If I can support in some way, and it's really about me, just it's less about what I'm trying to accomplish outside myself and more about the transformation that's supposed to take internally in the endeavor. And so it's like, really, I'm here to grow. That's here at the end of the day. All the things we're trying to achieve, Krishna can do all of that with or without me. Really, this is just for me to grow. And so I'm really, really trying to imbibe that, and your message today really, really shared that. Martha said the fundraiser video was amazing. Please go to bhakticenter.org and check out Love Means Service. We have a charity event fundraiser campaign this Saturday, October 22nd, evening time, Eastern time. You can tune in online if you're not able to make it live. There's going to be an address by Radhanath Swami. There'll be a presentation about all the exciting things we're hoping to do with our community support in the coming year. And so please, all of you, tune in online. It's a Saturday. Do we need to register for tuning in online? I will find that out today and message the group. So, but please tune in. We'd love to have you there. Thank you guys so much. Lots and lots of love to all of you. And we'll see you all again soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.